Welcome to Academy Answers Podcast, a show dedicated to inspiring and providing actionable advice on life, business, happiness, success, and reaching your full potential. Have you ever felt frustrated that life isn't working out the way you expected? Have you been searching for answers without success? You've come to the right place. Each week, we bring you perspectives, ideas, and actionable content. We share with you proven and time-tested step-by-step strategies to help you live the life you deserve and make your dreams a reality. From health to finances to relationships to business, we provide the insights and strategies you need to reach your full potential. So buckle up and plug in, because Academy Answers Podcast is about to take you to a new level of personal success.
Happy morning, guys. Welcome to the Academy Answers Podcast. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening in. And this is the podcast where we talk about happiness, success, and full potential. Getting to live your best life. Designing life that you most desire. The life that you think of in your wildest dreams. Not the one that you settle for, because many of us settle for the things we don't really want because we don't think we can achieve the things that are at the next level or at a higher level. You know, when you go into the store, and I was in the appliance store with a friend of mine and my wife, and she was picking out she just bought a new house, and she was picking out a refrigerator, and she went down the line. You know how these refrigerators are. The appliances are, most things, whatever you're buying in the store, there is a variety. There's a high end, there's a mid tier, and there's the cheaper ones, the low end ones, the budget ones. And while she was there, you know, we went through a bunch of different options. Really nice, cool refrigerators. And the one that she keeps going back to. Yeah, she liked it, she wanted it. But that one cost $4,000. And she couldn't do $4,000. So she had to settle for something much cheaper. And this is not only for shopping. This is what most people's lives are like. Settling, taking the next best, taking the things you don't want. The studies show that between 85 to 95% of Americans say that they're unhappy with their jobs. So people settle. And this podcast is to help you to believe that you don't have to settle. I'll say that again. This podcast is to help you to believe and to understand that you have within you what it takes to create a life that you don't have to, that is not a life of settling, taking second best, not being who you want to be, not becoming who you want to be. Now, I wanted to segue into a quote that I saw, and it kind of inspired this podcast. And it is a quote that says, "Failure is not an option." And I love the quote, but I wish more of us understand that it is, for want of a better term, incomplete. Because people who do what in modern dialogue we call hustle and grind are the ones who say failure is not an option, not realizing that hustling and grinding doesn't automatically segue into success. So hustle and grind doesn't means you're going to default success automatically. You're going to default into success because you're hustling and grinding. The people who work the hardest on this planet are the poorest people. The hardest working people are the poorest people. The world, wealth, businesses, empires are built on the backs of poor people and the middle class. There is the selected few, not the selected few, there is the few who have decided that they want their goals, and there is the masses that decide that they cannot have their goals. So the people who decide that they must have their goals have employed people who don't believe in themselves to use them to achieve their goals. So the people who believe employ the people who don't believe and use these people to get their goals. This is a Western world, and I'm quite cognizant of the fact that many other parts of the world, there are serious lack of opportunities that makes it more difficult, not impossible, make it much more difficult for somebody to create the life they want, but it's still possible. I've done work with this freelancer on Fiverr, site called Fiverr, where you do freelance work. People do designs and all that type of stuff. And this person is making $100,000 a year just from doing stuff on their computer in a third world country 100,000 miles away. And more there are these opportunities, and there's 1,000 of these sites all over the place, and there are 1,000 opportunities everywhere. But I'm just saying that the people who work the hardest and the middle class people of the world, they are the ones who build the wealth for those who believe that they deserve their goals, and they have a right and they have the capabilities of achieving the goals. The point I'm trying to make is that there are numerous people out here who have jobs, good paying jobs, decent paying jobs, go to work every day, do overtime, stay late, go above and beyond. There are people who have businesses who are at it constantly, don't have time for their kids, don't have time for their family, don't have time for themselves, don't take care of themselves, fall into unhealthy habits, working around the clock. Contractors, plumbers, hairdressers, barbers, mechanics, painters, roofers, you name it, architects, you name it, engineers, fishermen, regular factory workers, people who work long and hard, and they are pretty much still trapped in a level of life that is less than ideal, that is not in any way taking them to happiness, that they are not healthy, they are not happy, they don't have all the things they want, they can't do all the things they want. Because hustling and grinding and working hard is not a magic portion. For success. I'll say that again. Failure is not an option. Love that. Working hard, pushing, trying to get there, decide that you're going to do it. That's good. Love it. But hustling and grinding and working 100-hour weeks of 20-hour days is not a magic portion. That's not that's not the key. It's not just this thing that's all you need to do. And I'm on this topic because for a very long time, that is what has been sold. It used to work. And I keep going back here. It used to work. There's a time when you could do all these stuff, start working at 20 years old, do this 40 years or 25 years out there, get to retire, and the bank was giving you 16-20% on your money. You could go into some investment plan that give you a nice, decent salary, and you have life balance, and you don't have to stay at the office all day, and you don't have to be running around, not even able to take a chance to have your lunch and to see your kids play the game. And the corporations used to bank a bunch of these things for the guy who's out there working in executive positions. You're like, here's a car, here's a home, here's a helper, and a whole string of things. And here are 5 assistants to help you do this work. Those times are long gone. So, it is in the human experience, because it is easy for behaviors and thinking and belief systems to be engraved and entrenched, and people hold on to it even when you can show them real practical living examples that suggest that it doesn't work anymore. They still hold on to it, like how people are holding on to the degrees and the college educations and all these stuff, still hanging on to it, still believing in it, even though they're the same ones who will tell you that, look, it's a fluke, it's expensive, it's a scam. But they hold on to that because there's this great saying that goes, it is easier to fool someone than to convince them that they have been fooled. It is easier to fool someone than to convince them that they have been fooled. And that is what is happening. We are convinced of the old way, and we have been fooled. And people just, it's easier to keep them in that mold, that thinking, that pattern of thinking, that mindset. So this is for the people who are working hard. And I'm going to tell you the starting point. How do you get to a place where this hard work and hustle and grind is going somewhere? How do you stop chasing and settle down so your life can be lived? Because that's what you're here to do, to live your life happily, not to chase the next thing. Because believing that hard work and starting out and doing something and setting up a business and working 100 hours a week and always working and staying on the grind, believing that that alone is going to do it, is going to just lead you to misery, sickness, and loneliness and unhappiness. You got to balance it. I heard Tony Robbins said once, he was in and I'll make the point for you. I'll tell you how to get out of this hustle and grind, or what to add to that hustle and grind. I'm not telling you to get out of it, but I won't tell you what to add to it so you can progress, and this won't be your life going around in circles and just dumping your time and your energies into a hole. But I'll tell you this Tony Robbins story very quickly. He said that it was New Year's Eve, one year, 12 midnight, and he had just bought this huge mansion, and he was on the road. New Year's Eve, he was on the road, and his family was back home. And they called him on video call, and his helper was by the pool deck, and the New Year's stuff was all set up, and his helper and his family and all these people were there enjoying it. And it dawned on him that, look at what I have created, or I have sacrificed to have. And now, when it is a very important date in the year, I'm not even there to enjoy it with my family. It's easy to get caught up in the chase. When I watch HGTV with my wife, and we watch programs that, because we watch HGTV quite often, and we watch because we like to see houses and houses being decorated and renovated and stuff. My wife is into that stuff. I'm into that stuff too. I like it. And when you watch these programs and you see houses broken and everything is out of place and it's crazy and it needs renovation, it looks dated and it's run down and lack maintenance, I've always said to my wife that it just didn't get there out of nowhere. This happened bit by bit over time, where people invest in these things and they're not even there. They don't even have the time to enjoy it. And now they're slowing down a bit because of COVID or because of something else. And it dawned on them that, wow, how did my house get here? What happened? Because now, instead of them owning this piece of property owns them. Because they can't keep up, because they don't have the time and the resources to keep up. So we get the thing, but we can't maintain it, so it doesn't deliver what it's supposed to deliver to us over time. So how do we fix this thing? And we're talking and going on, sorry for rambling on, but I wanted to make the point. And this is the meat and potatoes of it all. If you are hustling and grinding, and this is for the people who are doing stuff, whatever your hustle is, you start a business, you're working hard, you're doing 5 jobs, whatever your hustle is, salute the hustle, salute the work ethic, because work ethic is a foundation, because work means revenue, and revenue means resources, and resources means options. And when you have options to invest and to do things, then you put yourself in a ROI game, return on investment game. You can get some more from what you're making. This is the deal. One statement. You have to understand and accept. You can't leave out the word accept. You have to understand and accept how things work. I'll say that again. You have to understand and accept how things work. Whatever you're trying to do, and this is the simplest, easiest, quickest way, and I give it to you blunt, straightforward. Whatever you're trying to do in this day and age, today, living in 2023, whatever you're trying to do, someone has done it. Whatever goal you're trying to get to, someone has done it, and there's a record of how it's done. More than one people, many people, thousands of people have done it, and there is a proven way. There might be little deviations, but there's a proven way to do it, to take what you're doing, to use the resources similar to ones that you have to create the life they want. So if you have a Shopify store, to be more precise, there are people who have done a certain set of things to make that Shopify store work. If you have a job, there are people who have worked a job and find a way to make their finances from the job, their revenue from the job, take them to a higher level of wealth or riches or money. There are people who have done all the freelance work, the skilled labor, whatever you're doing. There are people who have found a way to use that specific thing with those specific set of revenue and take themselves to the level they want, to levels that you are dreaming of. Go out there, study it, reverse engineer it, make your tweaks and changes, and go implement that. Spend days, hours, months, years, and implement that. Study it, keep learning, and implement that. Copy a proven formula and implement it in your life and your business. I'll say that again. Copy a proven formula. Get out of your own way. That's why I said accept how things work. Accept. Not only understand, accept how things work and do it. Get out of your own way. Stop thinking you know everything. Stop experimenting. Stop trying out. Just use the formula that you see someone else who has done what you want to do. Use that formula and work it. Make it happen. That's the solution to this hustle and grind that is pointless, that's making you running to stand still. Take yourself beyond that. Move a little higher. And I'm not going to tell you that you're going to go out there to do a business. You don't have to. There are investment opportunities that can stay passive that you can explore. But don't go here Bitcoin and jump on it and don't know what you're doing. Do the work, study the thing, understand the thing, get smart, be deliberate, and understand that you're going to have to spend the time and effort learning it and knowing it and investing in it and failing at it to get it right. You have to be around the people, you have to be in the rooms, and that is work. So you are going to have to work on your side income like people work on their business, because if you want more, you got to put more in. And that's what we're talking about. So know how things work, understand how things work, and accept how it works and be willing to execute. Thank you, my friends. Always a pleasure. See you on the next podcast.